this blissful month of Ramadan really means a lot. It's a month of celebration in some way. It's also a month of recalibrating our body, mind, and soul.
Fasting is one of the 5 pillars of Islam, and it's a way of getting closer to God.
Generally, fasting is between daylight hours, so you're fasting from just before dawn to the time of sunset, which can be up to 14, 16 hours.
Well, not everybody has to fast. Children, the elderly, women who are pregnant or breastfeeding, and those with health conditions which may be affected if they did fast, don't have to fast.
It's a time to reflect on how lucky we are to have food, water, to have health and wealth and family. It's also a training month, a month where we can actually get rid of all those niggly habits that we've kind of engrossed in, where, because it's not only abstaining from food, it's also abstaining from bad language, foul language, backbiting, swearing, and all the other niggly kind of habits that we may have indulged in.
So I think one of the biggest misconceptions is that it's just abstaining from food and drink, but there's a lot more that is important about this month and why we observe it. For me, it's trying to be a better person, trying to complete more voluntary prayers, doing more acts of kindness, and also being more charitable.
We go back 10 years, there's a lot of tricky. They're like, well, what are you doing? Why are you doing that for? X, Y, Z. Or do you have to do that? You have to do this. But now there's a lot more understanding, I think, general staff is.
The biggest thing is knowing how important Eid is and how big of a celebration that is for us, and to try as much as they can to give Muslim colleagues that time off, just to celebrate the end of Ramadan.
And we'll have a family kind of time together. So whether you're fasting or not fasting, it's a day of celebration. Eid's a day of happiness. So everybody's welcome.
I tend to do a lot of domiciliary work. There's a lot of travelling. So with our Ramadan, it is quite a bit tricky sometimes. Because it's obviously long days. I mean, as the days are getting shorter, normally it's easier. But obviously longer days, the summer is very good. Because you got a good 12 hours sometimes, 10 to 12 hours.
During Ramadan, I would probably wake up just a little bit earlier than dawn. I would prepare my pre-dawn meal and make sure it's something healthy, something that will sort of see me through the day, especially if I'm working. Try and have as much water that I can.
Work through to my lunch. Of course, I'm fasting, so we don't have a lunch. Lunch break, I normally have a slightly reduced lunch where I can do an afternoon prayer.
Go home, hopefully try and have a little bit of a nap, break my fast and do some more prayers.
I tend to find a fantastic tip is to eat well in the morning. So have a well-balanced diet in the morning. That will keep you fuller for longer. Also, I find that the first week is always the hardest. So if you mentally get yourself ready for that, it will make your life a lot more easier. And know that there's 2 billion other people out there doing the same thing. And that should hopefully make you feel a little bit more at level and at peace. And if they can do it, you can do it, or we can do it.
I would probably say discuss it with your colleagues and your managers beforehand. Just make them aware that you're going to be fasting. See whether you can change your hours, maybe start later and finish later if that works for you.
So there's opticians that I know that will just take a whole month off because they find it more easy. There's opticians that take just the last 10 days of Ramadan off because it's a special time.
You may also want a shorter lunch, or you may want to divide your lunch into 2 parts, so you can get your prayers in there. You can even get a little power nap if you need to. So I think it's really about communicating with your whole team, letting them know that you are fasting, and just having that open conversation. as a child, I have some fantastic memories of fasting. I remember the call of prayer coming down, and we used to come downstairs and open our fast together. I have more memories of opening fast and eating than actually of the fast itself. So it's a day of celebration. It's a time of celebration when you're eating together, you're praying together, everybody's together. So it's a fantastic kind of spiritual uplift.
So for me, I think it's having a complete shift to my usual daily routine. It's an act of worship where it's slightly different to your usual months because your day is focused around fasting and praying. I get to spend a lot more time with my family because we're sort of eating together every day, which we might not usually do because everybody's so busy.
I think spending the Ramadan, it's more self-satisfaction, really. Because, like I say, it's like when you're fasting as well, you just feel comfortable. You've got to appreciate what other people are going through. It's quite hard, obviously. There's people that fast and they don't even eat. And they're fasting, they can't afford food, and then it makes you appreciate how fortunate you are for things, really. I think that's more the appreciation